Hi, this is Emma Frank, and welcome back to Let's Be Frank. Today's episode, I thought we'd go on location to the Westchester Table Tennis Center and see if we can go inside and speak to the owner, Will Shortz. So come on, let's go. So here we are inside the Westchester Table Tennis Center with Will Shortz, who is the owner, also known as the editor of the New York Times crossword puzzle. So when did you start with your passion for table tennis?
I grew up in Indiana. My family had a ping pong table in the recreation room, so I played a lot as a kid. Won some trophies in high school, some of which are displayed here in the display case. And I played up till 1986, got busy with life, picked up the game again in 2001 when a friend found a table tennis club here in Westchester County. They played twice a week in Hastings. So I played twice a week, then I started playing 3 nights a week, and then 4 nights. Friend Robert Roberts came here from Barbados in 2006. He became my coach. We became friends, and it was his idea actually to start a club where we could play our own facility dedicated to table tennis, where we could play anytime we wanted. So we started looking in 2009, and we opened this club last May.
And you've been here how many nights in a row, you were saying?
I play every day, basically, and if I'm not playing here, wherever I travel, I play. Tonight happens to be my 115th consecutive day of play.
That's unbelievable. Wow. Okay, so can you tell us a little about the history? Because I see you have some antique ping pong table tennis items.
Yeah. The game was invented in England in the 1890s, became popular there in 1900 and 1901, and then jumped the Atlantic and became a craze here in 1902. The country just went crazy over ping pong, and ping pong was what the manufacturer called it. It's a trademark name. You know, it was like the Rubik's Cube, the hula hoop, the Macarena, any fad like that we know. The manufacturers could not keep up with demand for equipment, and especially balls. You know, it's very easy to break a ping pong ball, and you need a new one to play, and the country was just crazy over it. There's a few of these items in the display case are mine. This one is called Bing Bang. I told you ping pong is a trademark, so no other manufacturer could use that. Well, once the game was a craze, then this company came out with a knockoff called Bing Bang. In the old days, there were no official ping pong tables. You would just take this net that came in the box, stretch it across your dining room table, and you know, the fashionably dressed woman in her evening gown would bat the ball back and forth. This is something I got on eBay. Here's another old item from around 1910. It's called the popular English game of table tennis. We have a member who is an antique collector, and he got rid of most of those things a few years ago, and so he gave this to me, and it's almost a century old. This thing down here is also mine. I got this as a Christmas present from my sister a few years ago. She got it at an outdoor fair. It's, I believe, the original ping pong robot. Usually you need an opponent to play, but with this device, you put it up in the other end of the table, and it's battery powered. It shoots balls at you, and you try to hit the ball back into the net where it's collected, and the balls are shot back at you. You can practice your game by yourself. And then there's another member of our club who collects all sorts of ping pong and table tennis stuff on eBay. Here's something quite old. It's these old-fashioned paddles are made of sheepskin, I think. They're hollow inside, and they give a whole different feel to the game.
This is the current day?
This is the modern sort of paddle. Most people who played ping pong in a rec room or in a church, whatever, are used to hard bats with pimples or pips facing out. The modern bat also has pips, but they face inward, touching a layer of foam, rubber. And you know, it's sort of counterintuitive. You would think with pips out that you would get more spin, but you actually get more spin with smooth rubber on the outside with pips facing in, and you can generate tremendous speed and power with the modern racket.
Wow, so we want to see more of the club and some of you demonstrating some of the moves and everything. But, so could you take us on a little tour?
Let me give you a tour.
Yeah, oh, great. Wow, so tell us about your facility.
Well, we have two rooms. This is the main room and a second room which we rent for parties and events. This is the largest table tennis facility in the country. We have 18 tables. They're nicely spaced out. We got the highest end tables we could from China. One thing, they look beautiful because of the legs, which are in the form of an arc, but the arc also serves a practical purpose. You know, most ping pong tables have legs at the corner, and there are times when you're playing table tennis that you want to step into a shot and have your leg go under the table, and if there are legs in the corner, you can't do that. So the top players prefer legs like this. We thought about everything in this room that would be perfect for table tennis players. For example, the floor is a gymnasium floor. There is a layer of maple. Underneath that are 2 layers of plywood, and under that is foam. So besides looking beautiful, the floor has a little give to it, and it's pleasant and very nice to play on. We have bright lights, so you never lose track of the ball. But we also have lots of them, so that if the ball goes high, the ball goes between you and the light, you're not going to be blinded by the light.
And the ceilings, right?
The ceiling is nice. You know, most places you play ping pong in a church or a rec room or a recreation center, the ceiling is like 12 or 13 or 14 feet high. Here our ceiling is 19 to 23 feet high, so even if you hit the ball very high, the ball is going to stay in play. We thought a lot about the color that we would do the walls. We have 2 colors, a light blue and an eggshell, and we chose those colors because table tennis balls are either white or orange, and no matter what color of ball you're playing with, it contrasts nicely with the wall. We have lockers for people who want to leave table tennis equipment between their times. We have bleachers. Men's and women's rooms both have changing areas and showers. So it's nice, you know, if you want to go see a movie after you play table tennis, you know, have a shower and head on out.
And the TVs on the walls? Or?
We just installed these new TVs. They're 70-inch TVs, and their main purpose will be as scoreboards. They will have players' names, where they're from, their USATT rating, and then they are connected by iPads, and we will keep someone with an iPad will press in scores, so no matter where you are sitting, you'll be able to see who's playing and know what the score is.
Wow, that's great. And you hold a lot of competitions here, is that right?
We have monthly tournaments. They are the biggest monthly table tennis tournaments in the country. They're minimal built. Let me say it again. We have either $4,600 in prizes every month or a little over $6,000.
Wow.
And we've had players from China, Mexico, the Caribbean, Europe, Canada, and all across the U.S.
Wow. So I'm wondering if you'll give us a little demonstration.
Love to.
Okay.
Well, our club has 2 pros. One of them is Robert Roberts. He's originally from Barbados, 3-time champion of the Caribbean. He's played at 3 world championships representing Barbados. One time reaching the top 128. He came to the U.S. in 2006. We became friends because he needed a ride to our club, so I drove him to the club and back, and that's how we became friends. Now he became my coach, and now we do table tennis road trips all across the country. We've done the Midwest. We went to Canada. 2 years ago, we did a table tennis road trip around the South. We went through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina. Last year, we flew to San Diego to play at a great club there, rented a car, and drove back to New York, playing at table tennis clubs all along the way, and had a blast the whole time. Okay. So Robert and I play a lot. He's has greatly improved my game. Right now, something I'm working on is to try to brush the ball more. You hear what I'm doing now? I'm hitting the ball fairly flat, and you hear a sharp sound when the ball hits the paddle. If I twist my body more, you hear a lighter sound. This generates more topspin, and it's a harder ball for the opponent to get back. Sometimes Robert will lob to me, like he's about to do. Okay, that was... Robert can get everything back. Most people, though, would not be able to do this. And then, of course, sometimes I miss. I'll tell you something else unusual. Most players have what's called a shake hands grip, which means you hold the paddle like you're shaking hands with it. And then some Asians or Chinese have what's called a pen holder grip. They hold the paddle like a pen, and they use one side of the paddle. There's a very small number of people who have what's called a Seamiller grip. It's named after Danny Seamiller, who is 3-time U.S. champion. And you use only one side of the paddle. So if I'm hitting a forehand, I go like that. Backhand is like this. And the advantage of it is that you can generate tremendous topspin with your backhand. Of course, every grip has its advantages and disadvantages. But I have this unusual Will Shortz grip, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Jennifer Johnson, I live in Portchester, New York. I'm a former table tennis Paralympian. I enjoy playing at Westchester Table Tennis Club because it's open every day, and the hours are 3:30, which is good for me because I sleep in late. And I enjoy the sport because I can play with anyone. The rules are the same, and it's almost playing on an even ground. And it keeps me fit. I was a competitive player before, and I stopped playing, and then my doctor recommended I start playing table tennis again to keep up my body fitness. I have many gold medals in table tennis in Atlanta and Seoul, Korea. 2 golds, a silver, and 2 bronze.
In other sports, some sports like, let's say, baseball is great, but it can get boring. This sport, you always have to be on top of what you're doing, and you have to always use your mind to figure out what you're going to do next, and that's why I like it.
So we're curious about what an average day is like here and what kind of tournaments you have going on, kids programs. Can you tell us about that, Robert?
Yes, I personally am excited. We had a kids tournament in October, and we started out with about 32, 33 kids, and in the November, December, in the next one, we had 66 kids, which is kind of positive. So the kids tournaments are doing pretty good.
That's great. And are you, do you have any sort of after-school program right now, or are you looking to develop something like that?
Yeah, we're trying to develop a after-school program and also a kids program. It's still in the development stage, but we're going to do it.
So the club opens at 3:30 on weekdays, and our reason for opening then is so kids can come here right from school. And also we have a program on Saturday morning for kids where it's group training. And of course kids and adults can take individual training from Robert and our other club pro, Rawl, anytime they want.
That's great. And you have a tournament night or a league night every week, or?
Every Thursday night we have league night, and it's open to everyone. And the way it works, it's sort of like the USATT ratings, where everyone has a rating, and those are actually similar to chess ratings. So a lower ranked person is going to be in the low hundreds, and it moves up to the high 2000s. Robert is one of the top players in the country. His rating is 25-14. He's so good he actually doesn't compete in the league because it would be no match for anyone. I can tell you this, you know, if Robert and I are playing and he gives me 8 points in an 11-point game, I'd say we have I have maybe a 50% chance of winning. If he gives me 9 or 10 points, then the odds move in my favor. If he gives me fewer than 8, then the odds are in his favor. But anyway, we have league night every Thursday, and what's unusual about our league is it's not just the results in matches that count, it's the result in games. So let's say that I'm rated way above you, but we play a match, best of 5, and you win a game. If you were playing in the USATT tournament, I would gain points because I beat you in the match. But because you won a game in our league and you weren't expected to, you would gain rating points and I would lose. And that makes the league more exciting because you can play anybody, and you know, every game counts. Everything is on the line, and it makes things more exciting. Also, it makes the club more personal. Everyone is getting to meet everyone else. So it's every Thursday night is league night.
So anyone can come in and challenge you, and
anyone can come in any day and challenge me or anyone else. It's $10 a day for adults, $7 for kids, and we're averaging 45 to 50 players a day.
And you can tell there's all sorts of people that come and use, women, men, kids.
We actually
doesn't
have
matter?
2 kids that's doing pretty good in the league. Matt Niddle and Josh Schubach. This thing they started out at about 900, and they're up to like 1,300 and 1,400 now. So that's pretty good in the league.
At our last tournament, Matt entered 3 events and he won 2 of them. He won his age category, 14 and under, and he's only 12. And then he won his rating category, which was
I think under 1,500.
Under 1,500, which is really good. And then he came in second in something else. He's really getting good fast. And it's partly because of Robert, because Robert coaches people.
Yeah, and he kind of emulates me too.
And it's also because he's here every single day. And when he goes home, he watches table tennis videos.
Oh, wow. Sounds like we have a champion in training, right?
We hope.
So that's great. And you also were telling me that you have a bid in for something to host?
Yeah, the North American Table Tennis Championships. We've placed in our bid. This year's championship will be held August 31st to September 2. Any club in the country can make an offer to host. We think we've put in a pretty powerful offer because we have the best table tennis facility in the country, and we have over 250 members who are anxious and happy to jump in and help make this event a success. The championship is for 16 elite players, 8 from the US and 8 from Canada, and they come for 3 days to find out who's the champion of North America. And we hope this event takes place here.
Wow, so you can either come in and pay and play for the day, or you can join for a year. Is that how it
year's
works?
rate is $350 for adults, $175 for kids. Unlimited play, you know, we think it's a deal. It's
in comparison with the clubs in Manhattan and Queens, it's a big deal.
Yeah, if you play in Manhattan at Spin, for example, which is a great place, but you know, it's $20 for 30 minutes, and you keep paying. Here it's a low price, and our goal is to get as many people playing as possible.
We're in the pro shop now with Will, and he's going to tell us about all the equipment that they have here.
Well, we sell all the basic table tennis equipment, you know, rubbers, blades, balls, shoes, and so on. According to the official rules, you have to have different colored rubber on each side of your paddle. That's because you can have different kinds of rubber on each side. One side has to be red, one side has to be black. On my racket, I prefer a straight handle. Most people have a flared handle. I have regular quote-unquote rubber on the front, and on the back I have something called anti-spin. And what this does, it removes whatever spin you put on the ball. And so that works for my game. We sell all the basic stuff here. We even sell balls. Modern game has a 40-millimeter ball. When you and I were growing up as kids playing ping pong, it was a slightly smaller ball, 38 millimeters. About 10 years ago, it was made a little larger to make the game more friendly on TV, so you could follow the action better. And it also slowed the game down a little bit from the old days. And there are other rule changes since the old days. We used to be, when we were growing up, everyone knows, games to 21 points. Nowadays it's to 11. You still have to win by 2 points, but the games go to 11 points, and you switch serves after every 2 serves now.
So I like your logo there. Can you tell us about that?
Thanks a lot. It was designed for me by a friend who's a professor of design at Drexel University in Philadelphia, and it's the letter W, representing Westchester, composed of 2 table tennis paddles and a ball.
Very nice. Well, I've really enjoyed spending time with you today, and thank you for sharing everything about the club with us, and looking forward to spending more time here with you and see you out on the floor.
That's great. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you so much. So that was a great interview with Will Shortz, and thank you to Will for letting us tour his facility. If you want any more information about current events or what's upcoming at the center, visit their website at westchestertabletennis.com. And thanks again for watching Let's Be Frank.